Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Owen the Town. It's a big episode today. We review the first Luton-Watford derby in around 14 years. Unfortunately for us, it didn't go the way we wanted it. Lost 1-0. Poor performance in the end. We're going to look at that. We're going to take a look at Danny Hylton and see if he's up to it this season. Does he need a goal to boost his confidence right now? Does he need a run in the team? What is it that Hylton needs to get going? And also we're going to look at your Instagram questions, answer them. I'm joined tonight. Dave's on my left, Bataro's on my right. Evening, boys. How are you both?
Evening.
Evening, yeah. It's, well, not much said really about that, is there? But, you know, it is.
I'm very well, actually. I'm very well.
Considering.
Yeah, just a little bit disappointed with the weekend result, but
Do we start the podcast as always by telling Bataro to make sure he's close to the mic again?
I'm trying to sort it out now. Hang on.
Yeah?
Give me 2 seconds. Hang on.
Okay, whilst you do that, let's take a look at what we've been sent. Actually, we've been sent something this week, and it's really nice. Bataro, show this up to the camera. If you're listening, make sure you go check this out on our socials. We've sent a really nice poster of Luton v Arsenal, the 3-2. It's got the full team on it. It's got a nice little picture of Wembley on it. It's a really nice poster, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind putting up. It's a Littlewoods Cup. It's the old Wembley Stadium with the team listed and the score. It's a really nice piece of memorabilia, really. Fresh memorabilia. It makes a little modern twist on it. It's nice.
And if you want to go get one, go check out Blurry Design Studio on Instagram and Twitter. They very kindly sent us one, and we really like it, which is why we thought, you know what?
You should stick that on social so people can see it a bit clearer.
We will.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
But it's really nice. And actually, I just even the old Wembley sign there at the bottom there, it's sort of like our old logo, the RLTFC logo. It's really good. I like it.
Owen the Town to go see a picture of that, and we'll link socials as well if you want to get yourself one, because they're actually really nice.
Yeah,
we're really liking it. Anyway, 3-word reviews of the Watford game. Callum says we move on. George says still hate Watford. Ad says needs another striker. Ronnie said miss Glenn Ray. Peter said 6 from 3. Mark says unhappy but optimistic. Ryan says we must beat Wycombe. JMO says must finish chances. Dave says no overreaction necessary. Which one did you like the look of there, boys?
6 from 3. Still way to look at it, I take it. Because at the end of the day, that's not a bad outgoing, is it? Really?
I still hate Watford, so I like that one from George. But 6 from 3 is all right. Unhappy but optimistic. Yeah, of course, unhappy. But we're going to talk about the game in a minute. But it wasn't that bad, really. It wasn't that bad. Must beat Wycombe. We should beat Wycombe. But Wycombe haven't won a game yet. They're not going to be an easy turnover, really, are they? So yeah, we do need to beat them.
Well, we hope they are. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
JMO must finish chances. Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Collins. Yep.
It's what it came down to, isn't it, really? Like, if we look at the game, Watford started okay, but we started okay. I'd say we started better in them opening 10 minutes, actually. Do you not say? We had more of the ball. We looked comfortable.
I'd just say the first half in general, I thought we were more solid than they were. I felt like we would create a lot more, and I felt we did. But, you don't take the chances that God gives you on a plate, then what happens? Shit happens.
We had a few scares before the Collins chance happened. Norrington Davis didn't have his best of games, did he? And you could put this down to he's played every single minute for us this season in every league and cup game. Maybe his legs are feeling a little tired and stuff. But
he steps up as well, let's face it, come on.
Yeah.
He steps up. He was playing League One last season.
Oh, he definitely
he didn't have a good game.
No.
He didn't have a good game. And he made some crucial errors at times, which really put us under a little bit of pressure.
Well, the one producer Jacobs put here is the one when he just passed it to their striker, and that's when Sluga had to pull off a pretty good save.
I don't even know what he was thinking when he played that ball.
No,
but that wasn't the only mistake of the game, was it? And he wasn't the only one that made errors. It just didn't feel. To me, it didn't feel like a derby should feel, and that's because there were no fans in there. And so, you know what? If he'd have made those passes badly, the crowd would have been on his back, so maybe that was for our advantage, but it was really quite sad, really, at times. It was quite sad at times, but there were times in that game where I didn't actually think that we were much worse than Watford. No, I didn't think they were much better than us.
First half, Dave, you got to say we were on it. I think, come on, you both can say that.
I think first half we looked okay. We wouldn't blow a team away, but we held our own.
Yeah, but compared to where Watford were last season, I hate saying that word, but compared to where they were last season, obviously and where we were,
yeah, exactly.
I'd say, to be honest, I still felt like we was in control from the majority of the first half.
Second half we'll get into, but
Yeah,
second half
but-
was a completely different story. But no, that first half I'd completely agree that, you know, it's sometimes hard not to look at Watford and you know, it's hard to look at them and just have a level head. But they were in the Premier League for 5 years. They had a £40 million winger playing for them.
Was that Saab by any chance? Yeah.
You know, they've got Tom Cleverley in the midfield. They've Ben Foster in goal. Ben Foster's still a Premier League keeper, I think.
Yeah.
Their team is still Premier League quality. And our team, you look at our team, we had some of them in League Two.
Yeah.
It's a bit of perspective. I know it's our rivals. We know we don't like them.
The perspective is, yeah, maybe we should have got shafted by loads, but actually we narrowly lost to a deflected goal. And
mistakes.
you know, and on another day, you know, if things go our way, we're 1-0 up and we're playing really well.
Well, let's talk about that Collins chance. It all came down from Harry Cornick on the right-hand side. Amazing piece of skill to get. Look at me praising Harry Cornick's skill.
Good.
But he knocked it past their fullback, puts in the most beautiful cross. And Collins, I don't know what it is about Collins, and I said this to you, Bataro, on Saturday. He seems to score the hard chances, but miss the easy ones, doesn't he?
How do you not score from that position? I mean, unbelievable. I mean,
anyone would have banked their house on him and scored that.
I would guarantee that not just us, but we were up celebrating like that because we thought it was going to go in.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we thought it was in, didn't we? Realistically,
you should not hit the bar from that distance. You really shouldn't. I mean, no, sorry, I've got no excuses for him for that one.
Shocking.
That is one you have to score. You have to score that.
That's when you have to score against any team you're playing. But when that's coming against your local rivals, and well, let's be honest, your best chance of the game to put your 1-0 up, you have to score it. And what do you put it down to though? Because is it luck? Does that come down to luck? Is his technique wrong when because he missed one at Derby last season where Bree fires it across the goal, literally identical to that, probably a bit closer.
I think you got to take into account how fast the ball came across. I suppose he got into position well. He got in front of the
defence. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, there's no excuse for
listen,
that.
Listen, I'm not trying to make it an excuse for him. I think as a striker and as our main striker, he should put that ball in the net. 100% should put it in.
I think he closed his eyes. I feel like he closed his eyes. He saw Ben Foster diving before him, and he closed his eyes and he just struck the ball as hard as he could. That's what I feel he did. I don't know. I'd like to see a still shot of it, but I don't know. It's just baffling. But look, we love Colo anyway.
All his job there was to deflect it in. That was his job. He'd get his foot on it and just push it towards the goal.
Just cushion it in.
And for some reason, it's almost gone vertically up and hit the crossbar. And the worst thing about it is what happened later. So Bataro's now looking at a picture, is he?
Jesus,
yeah, we've got a still of Collins hitting the crossbar. I think his eyes are open, to be fair to him, but...
Yeah, but in all fairness, that's as the ball's hitting the crossbar, though. As the ball's coming into him, I mean, does he close his eyes as the ball's coming in? I mean, Ben Foster's looking for fucking, I don't know,
Ben Foster,
in the Far East.
I'll tell you now, Ben Foster was beaten hands down with that one. And we were just, I mean, half a centimetre down, a couple of inches down, that goes in. Mm-hmm. And the game is different. The game is different
sometimes as well.
Is
that just because it comes down then? It's just a bit of luck, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look, it was bad luck, but
on another day
that would go in. On another day that would go in. It hurts more because of who it was against. On another day, we wouldn't have lost that game. That's how I look at it. If Collins scores that goal, the game changes. Absolutely changes. Because up to that point, I didn't think Watford were going to score. I literally didn't think they were going to score.
Really?
Let's face
really.
It. Well,
really.
We're
talking first
that, yeah, of course. Before that,
up until that point, it was such a dull derby. It was such a dull derby that I didn't think either team were going to score at one point. We had some good possession. I
thought Watford were going to score with every attack.
Well, that's because you're too nervous.
And you're a pussy. But yeah, we won't go there.
So I didn't think that. You're nervous because you don't want them to score, but you know what?
You're telling me with their front three, every time they're running at Craney, when they've got Sarr running at Craney, you're not thinking,
I agree with Dave on this.
I think our back four at the time were playing really well.
Yeah, we were solid. First half, Dave, I'll be honest, I'm the same as you. I did not feel like we were going to concede at all. I'll be honest, Greg, I told you we had a few disagreements about certain things on Saturday, but we won't go there. But
no, we'll go there in a bit, but carry on.
Fair enough, but that's fine. But first half, we did not look like conceding. I mean, apart from that one where fucking, I don't know, Sluga pulled off that save in the first 10 minutes and Norrington Davis cocked up the pass and whatever. Apart from that, I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah,
we were doing little triangles, we're going forward nicely.
And they were tackling well, and they were tracking back well, and they were covering each
Yeah.
other. I think they looked a bit solid. Now, I can't say they were fantastic. But they did a job. And to that point, I didn't think they were going to get into it.
So when we look at Watford's goal, literally, a minute after Collins has hit the crossbar, you're still watching a replay as this ball goes in the back of the net, really, aren't you, on iFollow? And you look back at the replay and it's such a disappointing goal to concede. You're just disappointed to concede that to anyone, but your local rivals, it's not one you want to concede, right?
I don't even think it would have gone in. I think it would have gone wide.
In all fairness, it did look like Jalpedo actually scuffed it. It was going wide, so I'm just going to drop that in there. But you're right, Dave. And he's a fucking nonce as well. There's a few stories about him, but never mind.
Is he the one that dated the underage girl?
Yeah, apparently so, yeah.
15-year-old, yeah.
Absolute nonce, mate.
Yeah.
Well, it was unfortunate, and I feel sorry for Bradley, who had a pretty solid game.
It's just typical, though, isn't it? It comes off a massive deflection like that. And you look at the build-up to this goal, Craney's got the opportunity to take out one of their players and doesn't do it.
Yeah, in a derby.
Does he have to do it?
Yeah, of course.
You're pulling your head back there.
No.
Does he have to do it?
In a derby, of course you take him out. Do you know, we had to be more physical. I've seen more physical games when we're playing them lot. And you have to tell them your ear, crunch them. We're lacking a bit more quality than they've got. They've got more quality than us. They genuinely have, and it pees me off so much to say it. So crunch them a few times, and Craney should have taken the guy out.
The reason why I rolled my head back was because the fact that I'm just reliving it in my head again, and I can just see it. I can see everything so like clear, and it's just. It was just like 3 mistakes in one, wasn't it? That really led up to the goal within a minute, and it's just like. You can understand a mistake like once or twice in the game that like doesn't really, but 3 mistakes that you could have cleared your lines. I mean, we should have scored a goal, and then Martin Craney headed, and then there's no one down the channel like closing in, and no one sprinted back. I don't know. It's just
we just sort of
winds me up thinking about it now.
It was almost like, here we go, have a goal.
Yeah, pretty much, wasn't it?
But I mean, you've got to say unlucky that it hit Bradley in that way.
Yeah. But I just,
But at the end of the day, it was a little bit unlucky, But you're right. I don't think we tackled hard enough the whole match. Really, crunch a few of them, let them know you're there, and take the Premiership prima donnas away from them.
Premier League.
I said Premier, didn't I?
Don't you fucking start now, you two. Come on, Jesus Christ.
Well, let's look at the second half because let's look at the second half, and not a lot happened, did it? It was just.
I'll be honest, we got fucking dicked second half. I would say
hang on a minute. No, don't bollocks to that. We didn't concede, did we?
Yeah, but Dave, we were shit. We were shit.
Did we concede?
We were shit.
But did we concede? No, we didn't. Okay, we might. So
we
imagine
were shite.
We might.
Dave, what are you even trying to argue? We were awful second half.
Right. What I'm trying to argue is this: we might have been awful, but we didn't concede.
That's irrelevant.
Right, it is not irrelevant. Not irrelevant at all.
I know what you're saying. We held out a little bit, but at the same time,
we go back to the Collins incident, right? Collins scores and we play shit the second half and we scrape a 1-0. You're going to say how great that was that?
No, I agree with that. In all fairness, I'm not disagreeing with that. I do agree with the point you're making there.
So I don't.
It was lacklustre.
But yeah,
like you don't.
Go.
All right, and why not?
Well, the second half was awful.
And?
That's what I'm saying. It was awful. It doesn't matter if they didn't score.
We was on the back foot. We was on the back foot because we were 1-0 down.
They were comfortable. We didn't take the game to them. We didn't create anything in the second half. They were comfortable.
Everyone was comfortable on that pitch that day.
We didn't create nothing second half.
No one had the bollocks to grab it as a derby game. That's the problem. So, I don't think we're that far off them. Yeah, we didn't have any chances.
Really?
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No, you don't think we're that far off?
I don't think we're that far off.
No, we weren't that far off from them.
They might have £150 million worth of talent in their squad, but they haven't got the determination, they haven't got the desire, they haven't got the hunger for anything like we have.
You want to get smashed 5 or 6-0 by a Premier League team, you go ahead and do it.
We've got more qualities in certain areas than they have. They might have the quality in like, oh, look, I can do a fucking step over, I can do this, I can do that. I might be a bit slightly quicker. But we've got more about us than just that, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what they rely on. You put their manager who's supposed to be like, half decent or whatever, like a new guy coming or whatever. Oh yeah, do you know what? He can do a job, whatever. But
you might not
see that.
There was a lack of passion in that second half.
He's just dealing with a load of fucking fannies playing in a shitty yellow and black fucking shirt. That's what he's doing. It's all it is. Really, it is.
I don't know, mate. Like I don't like
It's money.
Watford, but
You pay them 30, 40, 50 grand a week or whatever they're on at Watford or whatever, yeah? And we're getting paid fucking 20% of that.
of course it is. But that's not Watford's like fault, is it? If they can do that, like
Yeah,
Luton would do that.
What I'm
if they could.
saying is they aren't that good. I agree, they're
I
not
didn't
that
think
good.
they were that good.
They're not that good.
No, I don't. I think they were there for the taking, for definite.
They're not that good.
Do you know what I think about this year's Watford team from what I've seen of them this season already? Is that I think they've got the individual quality that will get them results, that will keep them up there this
Which is
season.
what I was saying a second ago. They haven't got the other bit. They might have like individual, like I said, money, financials. They get paid more. They might have like do a step over a bit quicker than a certain player. I'm sorry, I know I'm interfering a little bit here, but this is what I'm going back to a second ago. They haven't got what we've got. We're a team. They're not. They're just fucking shit.
Yeah, but then they would just say, "Well, we just beat you 1-0 comfortably,"
Yeah,
and they haven't conceded a goal this season.
not yet.
I'm just trying to look at it from
you're
a
just-
I know what you're
realistic,
saying.
yeah, you're
You
just
sound like a
even
Watford
point
fan
of
right
view.
now.
You're just sticking up for them. You're just sticking up for
I'm
them.
just trying to look. My job is to put it from an even point of view.
Yeah, I get it.
We've got to be realistic here.
Well, we don't have to be realistic. I'm saying to you, they were there for the taking. Had we got the Collins shot on target goes in, then it's a different game, and we could have beaten them. So we weren't that far from them in that respect. Yeah, the result was not our way. The second half didn't go our way, but
They were there for the taking. If you're a better team than us, that could
No, they
put up
weren't
more of a
that.
fight in
No
that second
bollocks.
half.
No bollocks. They weren't that much better than us. They really weren't.
Yeah, I think I can safely say they weren't that much better than us. I think second half maybe a little bit told, but at the same time, what I will say is with obviously us and them,
They refer to us as a pub team. We're not a pub team. Generally, that I don't think they're a Premier League team at the moment, are they?
I think they are.
You can't argue with that. They're in the Championship in number.
Nah, not Premier League team this shit. This year.
Well, no, I hate to admit it. I thought they looked okay in the second half.
Yeah, second half. But is that because we looked probably about 50% of what
Because we were
usually
awful.
like? Mate, you don't finish.
We
You
were
compare performances, right? I don't care if it's fucking the Scum. I don't care if it's Swansea. I don't care if it's Wycombe, whoever, right, who we got to play. If you look at it this way, right, the fact is we matched them for the first half. And then second half, we went to shit. But the second half, I'd say we looked at 30% of what we usually look like. Would you not agree with that? We did not look like the same team that beat, what's it called the other week?
Derby.
Norwich in the Cup.
No.
We didn't look like the same team that beat Derby last week. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't look like the same team that won the first game of the season against Barnsley. It wasn't, the levels weren't there. Whether that, I don't know, it might be a mental thing, I don't know. But
the saddest thing is that it wasn't as good as it should have been from us. It wasn't as good, and we should have treated it more like a derby. We kept saying before this match, the passion in that game is beyond belief, and our players should have known that more than the money grabbing side from the other side. So we've got players that know what it means to us, and I don't think they performed to that level. I think if the stadium was full and we had our supporters there, it would have been a totally different game. It really didn't feel like a derby. That's all I can say. I mean, I was nervous at home, but it didn't really feel like a derby.
It didn't feel like a derby, did it? I mean,
How many yellows was there in the end?
No idea. Should have been
two,
about.
innit?
There should have been 8 or 9.
Each.
There should have been 8 or 9, and the reason there should have been 8 or 9 is because people should have been slicing through them. Look at that! Don't come near me again because I'm going to take you out.
The clip that's going around on social at the moment is when one of their players went down with cramp and you got, was it Corner Compelli?
Yeah, what the bollocks is that about?
Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Like, come on, I love you both, but you can't be doing that in a derby. Can't be doing it.
No, you can't. I think also I saw something on socials just before we started up where I don't know if it's official Watford or not, but they put out, this is what Luton come to do, and they put us fouling somebody, and then this is what we did, and it wasn't a true reflection of the game.
No, it never is that.
But you know what? We should have taken them out more. We should have been harder on them. That's what we should have been.
Well, this is it. Going back to the whole thing with obviously Pelly and was it you say Cornick, then the whole thing with the cramp and that. I mean, we were screaming. I'm thinking on the day. I know for a fact I was sitting there going, "Why the fuck are you doing?"
If
that?
you're in that crowd,
Yeah.
as an away supporter, you know the chant that's going to go up. You know, just let him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
And for that, you know, for the passion, I keep saying the word passion. It just didn't feel.
It just wasn't there, was it?
No, it didn't feel the same.
And when we're chasing the game, we make some substitutions, bring on Kaz, bring on Clark, didn't really have much of an impact. We also brought on Danny Hylton. He's our player focus for today.
Can I just say one thing? Do you know what we were missing? Bring on fucking Mick Arthur, mate. Let him nut them all.
Yeah, just studs up on everyone.
Seriously, because that game was missing someone that just had a bit of fucking fight in him. Yeah. Like you said, the whole Cornick Pelly thing, now you brought it up again, it's really pissing me off now. Not because of you, obviously, but why did they do that? Bring on Mick Arthur. Mick will sort you out. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he walked through. He walked through them when he played for the.
That's the thing. Cornick said all week about, we know how big this game is. We know what it means to the fans. We know what the passion behind it. And you see him doing that, and it's like,
no, you don't.
Why? Do you understand then? Because you said you understood, but do you?
No.
I think he probably does, but I think he probably did what he thought was right at the time, which was wrong. Just to let you know, Mr. Cornick. Totally wrong.
At the end of the day, you got to remember this means so much more to the fans, and it always will. Unless you're like a Luton player that grew up supporting Luton as a player, it's always going to mean more to us. And players can sit there and they can talk it up as much as they want. At the end of the day, it's never going to mean as much to them as it does to us.
Unless they're a true Luton fan playing for the club.
Exactly.
That's it.
Well, next time you bump into Ricky, ask him what he felt about it.
Oh, well. Let's talk about Danny Hylton. Brought him on with, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Didn't really get a chance at all, or just didn't have
the chance, did he?
Exactly. He didn't have much going on, but it's because of how poor we were. Do you reckon Hylton just needs a bit of a goal to boost his confidence at the moment?
Well, I was going back to on the start of the show, right? You say about, does he need a goal? Does he need game time? He needs game time, first of all. The thing is, I keep hearing people saying, Danny Hylton isn't up for this level. I keep hearing it all the time. How the fuck do people know he's not up for this level? How would you know this? Because he's given a chance. He's never had a chance. Yeah. He's always been brought on with 10 minutes to go, or he might start a League Cup game. That's all you've had. That's all you've got. How can people sit there and say, Danny Hylton's up to it? How?
Well, that was our next question.
I'm sure 2 years ago they were saying, like, against Newcastle, he scored against Newcastle, and that's a good enough team to win the championship or whatever. But he scored against them, and he ran them ragged at times.
Yeah, that's our second question. Would a run in the team maybe help him then?
100%, of course it would. It helps anyone, innit? Really, unless he misses fucking 2-yard sitters out every time, like Collins did, like the other day. But
so how long before you bring him in, though? That's the problem, because obviously Collins is number one choice at the moment.
Well, that's the thing. You look at this a situation like this. Collins, realistically, probably isn't going to get dropped for Danny Hylton unless there's an injury to Collins. That's the only way I can realistically see him getting a run in the team.
I think one goal gives him confidence. What he does, he does hold the ball up well when it comes up, and he's a strong player, isn't he?
I like Daniel, and I think
he's a strong player. He's a strong player, so I like him in that respect. But he hasn't had a chance yet, so you can't judge him until he's had a chance.
The thing is, maybe some people might look at like some of the things he has done in small periods of time when he's been playing in Championship or in League Cup games, or whatever. They might look at him and go, "Oh yeah, but he does this, he does that." Certain little flicks that he does. He's a bit naive sometimes. You can't do that in the Championship. But you know what? Game time, give him like a 5-6 game run in the team or whatever. He'll get used to it. He won't be doing them anymore. But you need to give the man a chance. People can't sit there and slate Danny Hylton and say...
Can they play alongside each other, Collins and Hylton? Of course they can.
Well, why can't they?
Yeah, of course they can.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way forward then. Maybe play two strikers.
But then this will fuck up Nathan Jones's little system, won't it? At the end of the day. Because he doesn't want to play with two strikers. We all know that anyway. And fair play. If it works, then we will be happy for whatever. I'm sure any Luton fan will. But I think we need to look at it sometimes. And like I keep saying, those people out there that keep saying Danny Hylton's not good enough for this level, all I will say is give the man a chance. And if he starts, has 6-7 games in the squad or whatever, and he doesn't score, or he doesn't... The thing is, I don't always look at like people's goal scoring records as well. If he contributes over the course of how many minutes he plays, and if he contributes for it, then... let him have a crack. Do you know what I mean? He might bring people into play. He might free up the wingers to run in behind or whatever else. He might win more headers. Let's face it, he will win more headers than James Collins. But it's not me saying anything bad against James Collins. It's just there's different qualities and certain things that people need to appreciate, and they don't, because they see him play for 10 minutes in one game, and then they'll sit there and go, do you know what? He's not good enough. How do you know this?
Well, 10 minutes is never long enough.
Exactly, of course
it's never long enough.
Fucking game swings from different balances to do out balances.
We know. We also know from past seasons that he can hold the ball up well. He can really take the shithousery out. The other team. He can
frustrate people as well.
and he can distribute and frustrate. Yeah, and in the same respect, he can score goals, but he hasn't had that chance. And you need that guy up front who's there to put himself on the line, which we didn't have on Saturday. Just to say.
Well, let's look at some of your comments about Danny Hylton. Daz says, some more match time and a goal were doing wonders. I remember when he was the main striker and Collins was the second striker, and he had a great chance to make a comeback this season. Matt says, if we could get another striker in, I'd send him on a short loan, as he desperately needs to get some more minutes into his legs to get back to what he was. Mohammed says, Defo needs a goal. Think he needs some more than a few minute cameos, literally, Batara, what you just said, to get them goals, but not sure who he'd come in for. Grant says, we'd love to see him and Colo up front on Saturday. And Carl says, surely with fixture congestion this year, we're going to see rotation. You can't be loaning him out and going through the season with one striker. I can't see what people saying he isn't up to the championship are basing it on. He's rarely played any minutes in it.
Right, I'm just saying about the whole fixture congestion. What did Nathan Jones say last week against Man United? People say, you made 9 changes, and now obviously people look at it as your B team and whatever else.
He said we haven't got a B team.
We haven't got a B team. We've got players that can rotate. It's a long season coming up. Let's not show you. You're going to see changes. You're not going to see the same start 11 that started the last 3 games. I can tell you for a fact, you're not going to see it. I'm not Nathan Jones. It doesn't take a miracle fucking worker or a genius to work that out, does it? You're going to see changes. And I tell you what, I really hope he does it. Just proves them people that think he's not good enough. I hope he proves them wrong. And he will. I know he will. Even if it's his hold-up play and bringing more people into play.
He definitely needs a goal, though. Mohammed's right there. He definitely needs a goal.
He
gets a goal, and it's a bit like Collins. You know, he gets a goal, they get a goal, then they get the confidence it builds up. I think Hylton is quite capable of scoring in this league. Quite capable.
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say if he's a starting striker as well, he still scores 10 goals a season.
And if he's not scoring, then he's a point at which the opposition go, oh, you better look out for him because he can score. So we might double up on him, free someone else up.
And also, when he's playing, do you not think people look at Danny Hylton and they want to sit there and they want to man mark him, go, he's the little fucker up front kind of thing, and they forget about the other people around him?
Yeah, but Hylton...
we see it in League... I know it's a different league, League 1, League 2 and whatever, but you see it then. He's picked up on Hylton.
He's a strong player. He can be a strong player. He doesn't he doesn't fall over easily, does he?
Doesn't lay down there.
No.
The only thing I'd say about our situation with strikers at the moment is I think Hylton and Collins, I feel like they are very similar types. And I said this to you on Saturday, Batara. I said, I think we need just a different plan. Like when it gets to Saturday, right, and we are chasing a game, but we're literally creating nothing, and we just bring on like for like, as in like Hylton for Collins.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. Like, I think that's where we need a quick, pacey striker. Maybe like a young Premier League player we could get on loan. Because people go, who would you get? So I don't know. It's not my job to find someone. I'm sure there could be someone out there.
And by those people, you mean me? That's what I was saying.
No, but I've seen people on Twitter say the same thing. Well, who's out there? It's like that's not our job to find who's out there.
The thing is, if you're gonna have an impact sub, you probably do need someone like maybe a bit pacier. Unless, if you're playing like an out and out striker, maybe someone who can hold the ball up, running behind, does a bit of everything. Whereas maybe Collins, obviously Collins clearly can't run in behind that well. He's not very quick, but he obviously has other qualities that he's very good at, defensive forwarding kind of thing. But Danny Hylton, good hold-up play, good in the air, good feet. Not that quick though, yet again. But I know what you're saying. We need power, we need pace up front kind of thing. We do.
Something different, yeah. Something different, I agree.
Just something that when...
Off the bench,
when the game goes flat, like it did on Saturday, that you've got something to...
And this is why I feel it's a bit harsh on Danny Hylton saying, obviously, about people like bringing off the bench, people slating off the bench, saying, he's not good enough, this and that. You can't judge him because bringing someone like Danny Hylton off the bench doesn't show the full worth of what he is. It really doesn't. Bringing maybe like a young, quick, little agile little fuck off the bench who's 19 or 20 or whatever, who can run in behind, is ruthless, then you've got something different in your hands. But Danny Hylton is not that player, and people need to stop. People need to remember that, sorry. I'm not being funny. This is how it is, really. It's balancing. Everything's balanced.
And on Saturday when he comes on and scores a hat-trick, he'll be a hero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good enough.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? And then they go, it's only Wycombe.
Anyway, let's get into some Instagram questions for today. Howie Monk says, did we underestimate Watford?
No.
I don't think we underestimated them.
Well, apparently, I probably thought they were worse than you thought they were, so...
Tom says, if we were going to beat him, was that the best time to do it?
What, Saturday?
Probably not.
When is the best time?
Every time's the best time to do it, right? Any time. I tell you when the best time to do it is. It's the 89th minute, last second goal. That's what you want from us. That's the best time to do it.
Suck the life out of them.
Absolute best time to do it. No chance of them to coming back. But it was a good opportunity to beat them. If they get stronger during the season, will we beat them when we're at home? Well, if we're in the Kenny,
yeah, of course we will.
MJ says, do you agree with Luton players helping a Watford player out with crowd? We've already touched on that.
No, not at all.
All I'll say today is disgraceful.
I wouldn't even help you two boys with cramp. Let's be fair.
That's fucking nice, isn't it?
And Liam
Cheers,
says,
mate.
where do you hope to see our club in 5 years?
Playing at Power Court
Yeah,
and pushing on to be in that league. You keep correcting me when I say Premier League.
Premier League.
Is it the Premier League or is it the Premiership?
I don't
Premier
give a
League.
shit what it's called. The top division would be,
In all fairness, wasn't it originally called
England.
Premiership?
yeah,
No idea, mate.
it was.
It'd be nice though to see us in Power Court, and I just think having a model similar to a club like Brentford, where you can bring in really young
That's a
talent.
You had to pick that up,
That's a
didn't
follow
you?
one in there,
Yeah,
mate.
bloody hell.
All right, mate.
What? Just shout out a club I work for. You know, they're doing everything right at the moment, and I think we should look at a club like Brentford and be like, that's what we need to aim to be like. If you can sign a striker for 1.75 mil and sell him for 33 million, I think you're doing all right.
Difference is though, one's in West London where there's nice things.
We're
about.
bigger than Brentford.
Yeah, no, admittedly, and then you got Luton, shithole. But
No, but you get the new stadium up.
joking,
I mean,
yeah.
I've seen the Brentford Stadium from the outside. It looks kind of cool. But you get Power Court ready. You get that up and running. It's going to look.
major.
It's
links
going to
as
be
well.
phenomenal. It's going to look really good in the town centre. And then you attract that 1.75 million player that you can sell for 33 million. That's what happens. And because if Nathan Jones stays and gets the club going, people will want to come and play there. And then when we become more successful, people want to come and play there. That's what happens. You know,
Let's
No,
hope
we
we
will do
see
it.
that
We will
club
do it.
is-
No, we will
yeah.
do it.
So I want to see
We'll
us
do
at
it.
Power Court 5 years' time. I'll go down and help them dig with the shovels and everything if
Yeah,
I need
exactly.
And
Just
before
a
we
shout
go
out.
then, let's take a quick look at Wycombe. What are we expecting from them? Are they still time wasting, Wycombe? Does that
to.
still
Yeah,
feel like
90. No, I think we're going to score an extra 3 goals in 90 plus 34. Yeah, they are still time wasting, for definite. Didn't they succumb to a very late goal the other day? Can't remember.
that? No, we just got smashed the other day.
Well, against Rotherham, first game of the season, they conceded a 93rd away, didn't they? Which is
Yeah.
fuck.
What do you expect? They got smashed by Blackburn, didn't they? Was it
Yeah.
5-0.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you'd hope,
that we can do it.
but you can imagine that their manager is going to be saying, "Well, we can beat Luton. We've played them before. We can beat Luton.
They're not going to beat us.
They'll look at this game though as probably so far.
The most winnable one they've played."
Well, Rotherham maybe was quite winnable for them, but
Well, it wasn't, was it?
it's going to be.
You've got to remember, and I keep saying this to anybody who supports Wycombe, we know one person, that they didn't even finish in the top 3. They didn't finish in the top 6 last year.
Nah,
They finished. Did they finish 8th? And then
Eighth.
this points per game thing got them to 3rd, and that's why they got
And I
to the play.
really hope we implement a good fist in them as
And
well.
so they weren't good
Proper.
enough to come up in the first place, really.
Nah. They're a
So
shit
they
team.
lucked it up. They lucked it because of COVID. So I'm hoping we smash them.
Yeah, I'm going for what's the score prediction there, boys?
Well, I'm
I'm
hoping.
hoping we
that's
get a
what
win. I think we'll get a win.
I'm hoping that Collins
Tough game, but a win.
gets a hat trick.
I'm going for a.
4-0.
Is that weird?
Nice one, mate.
I'm going for 4-0. Just mark my words.
4-0, yeah.
4-0.
I'm going for a 3-1.
I'm going to write it down here.
3-1
4-0.
Well, let us know your score predictions.
Hilton's going to come on and score 2 in the last 20. Actually, you know what? Hilton's going to start.
Why would you
on
even
Saturday.
give him a goal?
Hilton's
Why
got-
would you give him a
Oh,
goal? Don't do
shocking,
that.
Hilton's going to score, mate. He's going to score.
No, I don't mean
no, he
Hilton.
is.
Why would you give Wycombe a goal? You said 3-1.
Tough game.
Just what I
Tough
thought
game,
first
Dave.
thing.
No, no chance.
Tough game. Anyway, that's all we got time for today. I say also, we kind of cut this one short a bit, but thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Get us on YouTube, Owen the Town, socials, Owen the Town, and join us next week. We'll be looking back at the Wycombe game. Have a good one, and we shall see you next week.
After 3 points.